Here we go. So everybody out there is trying to convince you that day trading or the new crypto or this new super exciting AI platform software is gonna make you rich overnight. On this video, I'm very excited to talk to you about how you can start making money as a freelancer online, and in this specific case, how you can make your first $10,000. Even if you never sold anything online. And here we go. First things first, my name is Carlos Gutierrez from beautiful Costa Rica, and I've been a freelancer since 2016. This is a nice video of me back in the day. And as you can see, this is my Stripe account. This is a monthly revenue is $2,600 recurring for a whole year, and a net volume of $63,000 overall. A little bit of what I do here on my LinkedIn account. I went viral and we hit 80,000 impressions, over 500 hits on that post. So this is just a little bit of me. I built in my 20s a web design company, agency, if you will, selling WordPress, Shopify's, or custom builds back in the day. And in my 20s, I was making $5,500 roughly by the end of the month. After that, I built another agency with the whole AI boom, and I was doing automations through chatbots and integrations with Make or Zapier, things like that. And I was selling $8,000 projects. And at the peak of my professional career, if you will, I was a product manager, product design consultant, and my salary was a retainer of $6,000. And all of this information I shall show you very soon. Now, the essence of what you're gonna learn is the fact that I became a sales engineer. A sales engineer is a person who has technical abilities and knows prospection and knows how to sell, how to make a proposal, basically acquisition. So you have technical abilities. You're either a project manager or a software developer or a designer, but you're missing the acquisition, the business side of things. And this is what I became an expert at, and this is what we're going to teach you on this video. Why do I do this in the first place? Well, after a decade building software and services on a B2B scenario, business to business, I was feeling a little bit unfulfilled. So working with people, working with you guys directly, is proven to be way more fulfilling for me, and that's just what I want to do with my life. So I'm going to teach you how to systematically you can connect with high potential buyers abroad, United States, Canada, Europe, you name it, online, so that you can start making money on the side while you keep what you have stable, your current job or whatever it is that you have right now, without having to learn anything new, no new certifications. Basically, we're going to teach you how to elevate your career to the next level. Now, a little bit of the long term vision that you need to understand when you're considering starting a freelance business or building an agency or studio in the future. In the short term, you need to find your profitable idea or the service selection or the skills that you currently have that the market needs. That's the first thing that you need to do. So you're going to need to build marketing materials, and you need to quickly connect with potential buyers so that you can test the dynamics of freelancing. Once you get used to those first three to seven clients, then you can level up your freelance business to the next level, in which we can start injecting systems so that the fulfillment or the delivery part of things doesn't take a whole lot of time for you. And then we also start to increase the level of prospects and booked calls or potential buyers that you get, so that cold outreach systems and the snowball effect starts to make your life a little bit easier in terms of acquisition. You're going to then master the art of win-win selling or win-win closing, meaning you don't need any weird salesy mimics. You can just be yourself because you've built authority. And obviously, VIP networking, right? The awesome fact that once you get to a certain threshold or a certain level, your professional brand or what people know about you in terms of what you do you start to get referrals, and that's a really good place to be. Then long term, you need to build a system, you need to build a legacy, you need to build a team, you need to build an actual company, an agency or a studio. So you need to learn systems to how to delegate work, how to build a team, how to have a company culture, how to scale. Basically, that's the long term vision of the opportunity that's presented to you today on this video. Now, super important for you to understand the unfair advantage. The unfair advantage is the fact that you already have technical abilities, the fact that you already went through specific trainings or certifications, or you went through university, or you just self-educated and you went through that long process of developing your technical skills. And now you're in a point in your life where you either need or you want to have an extra income on the side, or you want to transition 100% to a freelance type of deal. um, and I just want to remind you that no matter what people say out there on the internet, you don't have to go out there and learn something from scratch. You can just use whatever you have right now, your current technical skills, to start making money online. So why do you want to monetize what you already know? So easy. The first thing is the confidence that you have in terms of the things that you know. Okay. Also, if you can just connect with the right type of potential buyer or the right type of person, you can just sell them what you have already. So it's the fastest way for you to make an extra income. It builds career capital, meaning if you have if you're a designer and then you get a friend who's going to pay you for a website, obviously that website can go to your portfolio. That's a very simple example, but like anything that you do that relates to your technical skills builds capital for you long term. It keeps the door open. Freelancing keeps the door open because you can always fall back to another easier job, or just fall back to your life prior before starting freelancing. Nothing really changes. You're just making something that you already have bigger and bigger and better. It's going to give you a feeling of freedom instead of the chaos, meaning people out there on the internet want you to do e-commerce or TikTok shops, or a new AI fancy tool. You don't need to learn anything from scratch or feel a little super insecure. You can just go and offer to people what you already know, and it aligns to your identity. You don't need to change, you don't need to be someone else, you can just be yourself. If I needed a project from you, you don't need to change yourself just to do what I need you to do. You can just be yourself and just deliver the work. And for freelancing businesses, if you manage to pass the threshold of I know what to offer, how to connect with people, the whole acquisition side of things, the business part of it, you can scale it later. Now, this is a just a little bit of a meme. This is how you feel when you're starting the market, their career. When you're finding your first job, you're like, yeah, this is easy. But this is how you look 5 years after. Why would you go through the process of learning something completely new? Just use whatever you have right now. So why don't you want to learn something 100% new, something from scratch, and you actually want to use what you already have as a tech professional, designer, developer, or project manager? Well, you don't want to go and start from zero again, right? You've seen maybe friends of acquaintances at your jobs or projects, or people that you've heard that they started the trading thing or the crypto thing and they got wrecked or scammed. Hopefully, you don't believe in the get rich passive income type of deal, cringe stories. There's all these viral videos of people getting rich overnight because they bought a crypto or something. Um, Hopefully, you also don't want to be just saying a whole lot of nothing online, making fancy videos that you're some professional and you're rich. You just don't want to make an extra income, and you actually want to deliver good results. You hate the get rich quick type of energy, and you just don't have the time to reinvent yourself from scratch. So just use whatever you have right now. So if we're aligned this far, I want to show you a little bit of the happy path, the path of least resistance, so that you can use whatever you have right now and you can start making money online as a freelance and hopefully do a whole transition if that's what you want. So if you could find a way to fill your calendar with 11 people, 11 people who are high value potential clients, meaning founders or hiring managers or people who have the actual cash to pay you what you deserve. If you could talk to 11 people a week, I'm sure you can tell me, hey, Carlos, I could at least get one close, get one people to trust me enough to give me a project. And if this is not the case, if you don't feel like talking to 11 people can give you at least one opportunity, then don't even continue watching this video because you have some technical skills to develop. Now, what should you listen actually? Well, I got to tell you first, when I started my career as a freelance, I didn't want it to be rich. I didn't want to know Ferrari, no Lamborghini, no mansion. I just didn't want it to have a 9 to 5. I wanted to use my technical skills, in my case, project management, and I wanted to travel the world building my own business and living a life of my terms. Obviously, I built a team, and these transactions that you see here, that's effectively the goal. You want to be able to have those transactions. And in another meeting, I was showing a little bit of my Pioneer account, and I'll do it again super fast, just for you to pay, just to have for a little bit of context. Just super fast. We'll do this. In any case, all of this information can be verified online at any moment. In fact, I encourage you that you go and find me, that you go and see where's everything, all this information, all of these transactions. How does this even work? Um, you can take a look at my YouTube. You can take a look at my LinkedIn. You can find all of the information that you desire, and super quick. These are the transactions. That's I don't want to even focus too much on that because all of this information can be verified. So if you're looking to start a freelance business and actually develop a life that gives you the freedom that you deserve, keep listening. A little bit of testimonials. You can go to my YouTube and find all of these videos. Just look at these thumbnails. Just go to my YouTube, find the thumbnails, and you'll see more stories. Now, I'm going to take you to our community super fast. I'm going to click on wins. Wins is going to filter all of these people having projects, successes, payments online. This is a $4,800 payment, close to $70 an hour. Landed a job, 90 days plan, saved my job, dream job experience, super news. Oh my God, got a new client, first invite. All of these people, we have pages and pages of success stories of people just telling us that they're building a website, that they're finding new opportunities, all of this stuff. Again, all of this information can be verified online, so I won't focus too much on that. I want to give you the entire master plan, so I need to go super fast. So this is me 6 years ago as a project manager in Switzerland. So don't trust my word for it. Go find me everywhere. Look at my LinkedIn, my YouTube, Instagram, Google, GPT me. I've built undeniable proof over the past 11 years. So go ahead and find me. In any case, in the description of this video, you'll get all of the links that relate to the information listed on this video. Now, welcome to Freelance Navigator. I'm going to teach you this step by step, the entire battle plan, the entire master class. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Now, the first thing that you need to learn is the fact that if you don't have a story, you cannot influence people. So the good news is, no matter your skills or specialization, DevOps, cybersec, backend, blockchain, Web3, whatever you do, project management, design, consulting, there's always a story. So I'm going to teach you how you can extract that story and supercharge all of your interviews and all of your marketing materials so that you can own the conversation and make self-evident that you can bring value to team members, to companies abroad, and you can start making money online. First things first, welcome to the Unfair Tech Advantage Finder Framework. This is one of our original frameworks. So the first thing that you need to understand is that you need to be able to tell stories that are data driven, that are impact driven, and you don't need to, you don't want to become a whole professional copywriter or storyteller or a poet to be able to do this. So we use AI to do most of the heavy lifting. So there's no excuse for you to elevate your career and start making money online. And I'm going to show you how to use this framework. So I'm going to click on this link super fast, and I'm going to just walk you through the first step. This is what we call our self background dissection. So you make a list of all of the projects, the companies, the role, the duration, and some comments. You just basically list everything that you've done, your entire list of skills, the knowledge, the projects, the tools that you use, methodologies, everything in extremely detail. So you can self dissect what certifications do you have, the prices, the credibility, all of the education. So you're gonna self dissect all of your background, and you're going to segregate this data in a centralized Google Sheet, and then you can craft memorable stories. These memorable stories are going to supercharge your resume, are going to supercharge your LinkedIn profile, and also your Upwork profile. So you're going to stop just being a resource or someone who had jobs, or your resume is going to stop looking like a chronological list of the things that you have done that have no connection or relation whatsoever with a company role, like responsibilities or expectation, or their current quarterly goals or challenges. All of this is things that we don't get taught in school, unfortunately. So we have an AI that we're going to give you access to, that you're going to feed all of this segregated data, and the AI itself is going to build all of these amazing stories for you. So again, there is no excuse. Now, the first thing that you need to master right after you self dissected yourself and you found what is it that makes you unique, is the fact that you need to master your industry. You need to know your industry like the palm of your hand. And this is huge. This is a huge upgrade for your career, for your freelance basics, your foundations, because one of the key differences between top talent or consultants versus the average worker is the fact that consultants know their industry. They know the challenges, the disruptions, the product, the services, the thought leaders, the sexy startups, the upcoming underdog startups, and that this gives them a supercharged type of approach when doing hiring processes or talking to prospects, because their answers are filled with knowledge of the industry. So all of their answers are hit way harder than someone who has no idea and just clicked easy apply on the LinkedIn application form, or just hit apply in whatever platform. Now there are three layers. There are layers to mastering your industry. The first layer are the most common companies. We call this the S&P 500 companies, meaning if your industry is software, you're going to know the most common ones. IBM, Intel, for example. Those are S&P 500 companies. The issue with focusing on selling services or contracts or applying for a job or a contractor freelancer role in the S&P 500 companies, IBM, Intel, Google, is the fact that everybody applies. And the LinkedIn Easy Apply feature allows you to apply to 150 jobs in 15 minutes. So my advice to you is to only target this S&P 500 companies, the most global, most popular companies, if you're 100% certain that you actually want to work with them, and you have a clear list of reasons why, and you have a clear strategy as to how you're going to approach it. Don't just go and apply. So you need a battle plan that is 100% personalized, and you need to be like a sniper. We call this the sniper method, and you need leverage in terms of professional branding, clear, powerful experiences that ensures that your chances of landing a job in these popular big companies are higher. Then the second layer, we call this the less than $1 million a year type of approach. We can use social engineering protocols to get through what we call the third door. The third door is you opening up a door that is usually invisible for the average worker. The average worker only knows the first door, which is the front door. This is the equivalent of just literally going to an office and knock on the door and just be like, hey, is there any any roles available. Um, and then there is the second door. The second door is getting a referral, or maybe your dad is the owner of a company, so you can ask your dad for a little project or a little bit of help, or someone that you know that's a family of someone close can give you a referral. The third door is doing is acting like a spy. It's being a social savvy. It's a social engineer protocol that I shall explain really soon. But in companies that earn $1 million or less, you can execute the third door protocol that I'll explain super soon, and the sniper method. This will work. However, for you to start accessing the lower barrier of entry, the least path of resistant pathway, is for you to connect, analyze, and really get to know what I call the underdogs or sexy startups. So the underdogs are companies with less than 50 employees, hopefully less than 15. We're going to build a whole interview toolbox specifically for the underdogs type of startups within the industry that you're selecting, and we're going to just give you how to a step-by-step plan to how for you to optimize your resume. We're gonna give you frameworks for you to do mock interviews, master storytelling, and be able to answer what we call the question behind the question. Meaning, when they ask you, "Okay, why should I hire you?" Instead of just answering what everybody else says, meaning uh, everyone watches the same YouTube video that's free that explains what to say when they ask you what should I hire you. You're gonna have a prefabricated, well-designed answer that relates to their challenges and their quarterly goals. And for you to find their quarterly goals, we're gonna use the social seventies method. That's the third door that I explained, and you're going to basically own the conversation. So the underdog sexy startups have the lower barrier of entrance because the founders or the leaders of the startups are extremely busy. So they're looking for high valuable top performers to reach out to them with a clear specific type of offer. So basically, you just need to talk to 11 high value founders or C-level managers within the underdog sexy startup layer, and I'm sure you can just land an opportunity and build a snowball effect. So three layers. You need to be able to map, analyze, and segregate all of this data so that you know the industry like the palm of your hand. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So welcome to something original of us here in Freelance Navigator that we call the taco system. I'm going to click here super quick. And again, I'm going to walk through it to explain you, but just know that all of these documents in a clear step-by-step process will be explained in the description of this video. But this is super simple. What we do is we grab all of the layers, right? We grab all of the layers of the industry, starting from the biggest companies, and we assign 1 to 5 tacos. So usually we don't really know where we want to work. So the taco system helps us define which of all of the companies that we find in our market research when we're mapping out the entire industry. We can use the taco system to just say, hey, listen, New York Times company is a 5 tacos, and I have a clear list of reasons why. Versus Epic Games, this person was doing a taco system. New York Times company has 5 tacos versus Epic Games has 2 tacos, meaning he doesn't want to work in video games. He wants to do design, but not for video games. He wants to work for companies more in publicity. So tier two, as discussed in the presentation, right? Tier two, I'm going to show you less than a million, right? Less than a million. Tier two. So we have companies listed in tier two, and we repeat the taco system. And then we make a little bit of a breakdown. We do pattern recognition. We review all of the team members related to these companies, and we extract the values and the useful skills that their team members are looking for. Then we extract the most common jobs available, or contracts available, or projects available. And that's how you start mapping out an entire industry. And this is supercharging you already. This is something that the average worker is never going to do. On the flip side too, we do not only map out and segregate the data related to the companies, we also start to see ourselves as a business, as a product. So if you're a product in a free market, in a freelance market, it means that you have direct competitors. In the first step, what we talked about before, you self dissect it and you find out your uniqueness, what makes you unique. Now you can compare yourself to others that are potentially offering the same as you. So how do we find this talent? In the same way that we found the companies. We go to LinkedIn pages. Almost every tech startup, every tech company in the world has a LinkedIn page. So you can extract all of the information. And what you're basically doing is a proper market research. This proper market research comes from the fact that you have done a drilling down method, a drilling down approach to the industry that you want to master, that's connected to the skill set that you know you can offer, so that then you can become a consultant or protect professional that knows his industry like the palm of your hand. All of this information is going to give you an unfair advantage. Whoever is a direct competitor to you, for example, if you're doing Python, there's a version of you who knows Python but doesn't know his industry at all, versus a version of you who knows Python and knows the direct competitors, all of the companies, the underdog companies, the huge companies, the projects, the disruptions, the innovations. So there is a marketing process, a whole framework that you're implementing for yourself. You're changing your career from just being a quote unquote resource to an asset, a creator, a consultant, a thought leader. This is exactly what you're doing. So, this is mastering your interview. Once you have all of these documents completed, which by the way, you are going to need at least 55 underdog companies listed, analyzed, and extracted all of the insights. At least 55. Once you've done that, we can finally create what we call your technically irresistible offer. So, in the first step of knowing your industry, you finally master your industry. You've mapped out all of the information of the companies. You have 55 underdog companies with low barrier of entry, and you've mapped out your direct competitors. So now you sit down and you use one of our AI agents to help you craft an irresistible offer. We have an agent to build a resume. So you're going to tell a little bit of your experience and your context, and we're going to give you a whole resume that looks like this. This is the best proven by far consultant or extremely senior professional type of resume. This is what you want to do. And then also your profiles like LinkedIn and Upwork. We're going to teach you exactly how to leverage your knowledge of the industry to craft an irresistible technical offer. Your irresistible technical offer resonates with high valuable clients that can pay you exactly what you deserve, builds a professional brand for you, like on LinkedIn here. I'm going to show you a little bit of some LinkedIn wins. This is Skillful AI, one of our partners that we work with. And this is just personal branding. We're doing content. Thanks to personal branding, our client landed a job at Apple, for example, became a chief of technology for a very sexy um, current startup. And the results are here. These are all messages that we didn't even have the chance to respond. So that is the power of first mastering your interview, segregating all of that data so that you can finally supercharge your resume, your online profiles, create your technically irresistible offer, and finally start creating a professional brand for you that allows you to connect with potential buyers. Something really important that you need to understand: just because you create a technical irresistible offer doesn't mean that clients left and right are going to fall into your lab and you're going to be making thousands of dollars just because you made a research. Making the mastering the interview market research and doing all of this documentation and segregation of data and reviewing your direct competitors, creating your technical resistible offer, that is just the first step. Now you need to make sure that you start pumping and you start creating valuable content for your niche, for your industry, because we want to get to what we call the snowball effect. So we have a sheet here that's going to teach you how to quickly dissect the top three topics that you can start talking about. And I have good news for you. You don't need to build hundreds of thousands of posts on LinkedIn or freelancing platforms for you to gain the results. You just need 33 valuable posts that get at least 1,000 to 2,000 impressions. That's all you need. And in terms of impressions and whatnot, I can show you super fast the power of posts. I can just click on post here on my the client, 1,800 impressions. Okay, again, and what we want to achieve is just an inbound of opportunity. That's what we want, an inbound of opportunity. I can go to my personal LinkedIn, and again, all of this information can be verified online. You just need to find me. And I went viral thanks to using our agent 80,000 impressions. So it's very important for you to see that. And here we go. Let me go back to my presentation. My God, lost it for a second. All right. So you just need 33 posts. And again, we use AI to do most of the heavy lifting, so there is no excuse. Again, there's going to be a centralized document with all of these templates, all of these frameworks for you to use on a step-by-step process, and all of the agents. We have an agent that will help you create this 33 valuable posts. It's not magic. It's not like just you're just gonna ask our agent to be like, hey, I need to go viral. Write 10 posts for me so I can go viral. No. We have programmed the agent to respect a structure that works. But you also need to bring in your creativity, your unique perspective of things, and polish it a little bit before you post it, for you to consider. So there nothing that I'm sharing with you on this masterclass and this video, it's something that works like magic. These are proven systems that work, but you need to put in the time, you need to put in the effort, you need to have attention to detail. You need to have a desire of improving your career, elevating your career to the next level. So what does it mean to elevate your career to the next level? It means that you have a desire to be a top talent. Okay, and one of the traits of top talent is that they use what we call the third door method. As explained before, the third door method is basically networking. Is you coming to an industry, seeing yourself as a consultant, as someone who wants to have an impact, who wants to push an industry forward. An industry doesn't have to be something huge like rocket science. An industry can be something simple like Python, if you will. Okay, so let's get into the topic of tech social networking engineering. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to bring everything that we've worked in so far, meaning the mastering the industry and the content that you're doing, so that you create an of opportunity influx of opportunity. Real quick, I'm going to show you how you can connect with potential buyers abroad, United States, Canada, and Europe, super fast. I'm gonna do this right now. So welcome to Upwork. This is one of our dear clients. It's a freelancer account. I'm gonna proposals. I just need to show you guys What you're seeing here is basically our proposal, which again, we have a whole agent to help you optimize your Upwork profile, optimize your LinkedIn profile, help you with a cover letter, help you with a resume, and help you with a bio, help you with a headline, help you with everything. So, senior iOS voice developer, Flutter, female anime, no code AI marketing strategist, advice for. Okay, so what you're looking at is basically the market that's available, and I'm going to apply to this job. Again, the first thing that we did is preparing the marketing materials, and what I'm currently doing is just applying to a potential job. And I just want to show you how fast it is. I'm doing this in minutes. I'm sending an actual proposal to a buyer. I just did it. I can edit it if I need to. I can withdraw if I want to, but I just sent my proposal. This was super fast. This Upward profile is bringing constant opportunities. We're constantly talking to people. We're constantly talking to people to discuss projects. And if you're asking yourself, why do I have access to this account? Because that's the level of trust that we have with people here in Freelance Navigator. So, bringing you back to lead generation, you want to have an influx of opportunities. And by the way, I have long, detailed videos explaining this step by step, meaning how to do the third door lead generation on LinkedIn and third door lead generation in Upwork. Links to those videos attached. I just don't want to make this video 3 hours. Now, welcome to the point in which, if you're paying attention and if you feel aligned and if all of this makes sense thus far, meaning the first thing that we did is to know your industry like the palm of your hand, and that requires work. People don't even think about the fact that they should care about their work, and they should approach career management and career building scientifically, methodologically, with frameworks. So now you have mapped out the entire industry that you care about. You have extracted all of that data, extracted insights, used our AI tools to create compelling stories, supercharge your LinkedIn, your resume, your cover letter, your Upwork profile, created your technical resistible offer, and you can finally say that your career will never be the same again, because we have created an identity change. If you paid attention to everything that we just explained, if you go and do the activities, you should consider yourself a top performer. You should consider yourself a consultant. You should consider yourself someone who can actually come to a business owner and have a serious conversation, propose a project, and have an impact and get paid for it. That's a competence trigger. That's one competence trigger. I'm going to explain you the 6 ways in which you can deploy competence and make self-evident when talking to potential peers, when talking to potential clients, partners, new managers, new bosses. So first is the knowledge that you have. So you want to have a daily activity that helps you supercharge your knowledge. The knowledge is the things that you know. The skills are the things that you do with the things that you know. You want to have a desire for you to improve your skills on a daily basis, at least 1% a day. And then the experience, everything that you experience thanks to the things that you learned and the things that you did. Behavior, super important. People by people. If you're talking to a founder, if you are discussing a potential better job, the recruiter, the potential buyer, the founder, the hiring manager, the tech lead, they know that if they give you this project, if they award you this freelance project, if they give you a job, if they offer you a freelance full-time position, they will have to deal with you as a person, people by people. So the behavior associated to the things that you know, the things that you do, and the experience on a daily basis has to be in place. No one wants to work with an asshole. No one is excited to jump on a daily stand up with someone who's always angry or bitter. You should enjoy what you do. That's why you should know your industry. And if in the process of knowing your industry you feel resistance, or you feel like you just simply don't give a fuck, change the industry, change careers, find a way for you to feel excited. It's the easiest way, it's the happy path to getting better and making more money. Then the performance is the impact, the value that you created, and the time of delivery, of course. And then the goals, you should have goals, short, mid, and long term. And all of your negotiations, every time you apply for a job, should align with your goals, even long term. Okay, so now we have connected your knowledge of the industry, your technically resistible offer, your supercharged materials, LinkedIn, Upwork, cover letter, resumes, with now short, mid, and long term goals. These are competence triggers. Something really important for you to do is to start with why. Start with why. Why is it that you feel like right now it's a good chance for you to start growing as a freelancer, growing as an online consultant, making this change, elevating your career? What is it? Why? Why do you feel like this is the time? Do you feel stuck and you feel like it is time for you to elevate your career? Do you feel pressured because something is happening, you want to buy a new home, or you want to buy a better car, or someone unfortunately in your family is a little bit sick and we need extra cash to pay for the treatments or the medicines? Why do you feel like this is the time for you to elevate your career and start making money online with your technical experience? Use it as a rocket fuel. And we call this the 5 whys technique. The 5 whys technique. In everything that you do in your life, you should always step back, and have a predisposition to really consider things first. Ask yourself 5 times why you're going to start an endeavor, you're going to engage in a project, you're going to apply for a job, you're going to talk to a potential founder. The 5 whys technique is going to take you to the root cause. The root cause connects with your goals long term. And that's how you supercharge your answers. That's how you start telling stories that makes you effectively unforgettable. Now, the huge difference between an average professional and a top performer, or a freelancer, or a consultant. Larry. Larry is the average professional. He goes and clocks in to whatever job he has, and he's nice, he's really easy to forget, he has a predisposition, meaning he's very agreeable. He has an II syndrome, he's very worried about everything that he needs, doesn't really ask questions when discussing scopes, requirements, and whatnot. Very monotone, boring. He doesn't show his results or the work that he has done. He talks a whole lot about nothing, and he just feels generic and boring. Now the CTO, the freelance, the consultant, he has ownership. He asked inquisitive questions. He has pattern recognition, and we just taught you how to find patterns through the first phase of knowing your industry, right? Because knowing your industry taught you how to do a proper market research. Proper market research is a skill that is now with you right after this video. You can use the taco system, you can use a proper market research for anything in life. You can have a really serious conversation with a business owner who needs a market research, and now you know how to do. Use the same taco system, just instead of comparing and analyzing companies and your direct competitors or people, just do it for products or services, the direct competitors of your potential client. That's the magic. It's a proper market research. So yeah, pattern recognition. You need to start developing an attitude of, hey, I'm proactive. I'm already solving these challenges. You don't need to tell me really what to do. Practice your communication is something that we're going to teach you. You want to be coachable, and you want to have a clear long-term vision, right? Long-term vision. All right. You're supercharged with the behaviors of a top talent or a consultant. Now I'm going to teach you finally how to sell, how to communicate. Welcome to human selling. Again, important for you to remember, people buy people. People buy people. So imagine you walk into a room and it's an interview. The second you step into the room, the second you jump into the Zoom call, The hiring manager, the recruiter, the potential buyer, the founder, the technical lead, he is sizing you, that person is sizing you up, is seeing your body language, your tone, your energy, how you carry yourself, what you're wearing, how you talk, what you ask. So I'm going to teach you exactly how to deal with these calls. The first thing that you want to explain is, who are you? This is a slide that I used back in the day, and these are huge brands, right? But like, who are you? Who are you, and who did you work with? What did you do? So this is within the context of a proper negotiation. So the first thing that you want to talk about is, it's about the who are you, what makes you different, and we talked about that in the know your industry section, right? Know your industry, create your technically irresistible offer. That's who you are. That's your unique selling proposition. That's what makes you unique. So let's talk about you. All right. So what you want to approach your conversations as a technical co-founder, as a service. You want to approach your conversations as someone who is a peer-to-peer. Don't just jump into an interview, don't just jump into a negotiation waiting to reply to answers. Ask inquisitive questions, like we saw as a competence trigger in the top performance slide. Okay, so you want to be a tech partner, you want to be a peer-to-peer. That's what you do. You are an engineer, a problem solver, a consultant. You're not just a resource. All right, this video has to transform your identity from a resource mindset, employee mindset, to a partner, consultant, a peer-to-peer conversation. In what you do, well, you can be an agency, you can be a studio, you can be a consultant, or you can be a freelance with a very specific niche. You can do design, you can do development, you can do cybersec, you can do whatever, but you have to have a framework. So this is a very general framework that works. You can do discovery first, strategy or research, definition, discovery. And then once the discovery is done, you're going to move on to the second phase, which is the service, the product, the development, whatever is it that was promised, the fulfillment, the delivery of that negotiation. And then you want to talk about the engineering upgrades, the add-ons, how to expand the impact of the result, that whatever is it that you delivered created on the business, on the team, on the product. And then you want to be able to expand beyond that. So have a four-step of framework for whatever is it that you're going to give them or you're going to develop. Again, all of your interviews, all of your negotiations, starting from now, right now on this video, you're going to be a peer-to-peer type of dynamic. Now, how are you going to do it? Well, you can do the classic agile development structure. Have a plan. Obviously, you need to contextualize this face-to-face type of approach that I'm showing you with whatever it is that you do. There is design, development, consultancy. There's many different things to do. Now, for you to kill it on the interview, we have great news. We're going to teach you how to use Test Gorilla, which is going to help you practice live on call, live on with an AI platform, your technical skills, no matter what is it that you're doing. And then this funny little bird here is gonna be able to teach you what to say, when to say it, and these are all tools that you can have live on call. For instance, Tusk Gorilla, if you're in a meeting and out of the blue, the CTO jumps into the Zoom call and he's like, "Hey, can you solve this technical challenge?" Tusk Gorilla can help you do that, and we're going to teach you and send you links for all of that. Now, let's talk about sales. Sales in specific is a whole thing. You need a North Star clear, meaning starting from now, all of the conversations that you're going to have are going to be peer to peer. So instead of you just jumping on a Zoom call expecting for someone to interview you, you need to ask questions to try and understand what is it that the client needs. What is it that the client or the prospect, the founder, the hiring manager, what is it exactly what they need? So the first question is, hey, can I ask you what is it that you're trying to accomplish specifically? And then once you understand exactly their North Star or exactly what they're looking for, then you need to create an emotional journey, meaning You need to help them understand that you are the right person to help them achieve exactly what is it that they want or that they need, and you help them visualize it. So that's called future pacing. And then once they see that is possible, and that is possible thanks to your service and your experience and your help, you're going to also help them experience the consequence of not trusting you, the consequence of not working with you. And that is called consequence of inaction. So if you see it as an emotional journey, the North Star, it's clarification of what's the goal. Future pacing. Future pacing is making them feel like it's possible, and it's possible for them thanks to you. And then the consequence of inaction is that lower type of energy of the call, of you helping them experience, feeling, seeing what is it that is going to happen if they don't work with you. All of this obviously assuming that you're actually capable of delivering the work. In any case, this is a whole lot of questions and a step-by-step framework. This is added for free in the description of this video, in a document, a step-by-step. So just go ahead and review the questions. But this is a very effective step-by-step process for your sales goals. Now, the phases that you want to go through on entire, from zero to hero, from nothing to closing projects, is super simple. It's just four phases. The fundamentals is, again, knowing your industry, building your knowledge, the fact that you're a consultant, changing your identity, reverse engineering everything that prospects and potential partners and potential peers, clients, reversing engineering everything that they need, and you becoming that person to solving their problems, doing the third door technique, right? The social engineering that we discussed, networking, VIP, your profile optimization, mastering the sale, mastering the interview. You're going to have a whole toolbox with all of the materials that we worked on this video, right? Meaning your clear understanding of the industry, the three layers of the company levels, your self dissection, you created your technical resistible offer. All of these are marketing materials. Obviously, the stories that you created thanks to self dissecting plus mastering your industry, these are stories, these are things that you added on your resume. So we call that the toolbox. You're going to learn storytelling, and now you learned not only how to answer the question behind the question, right? But also how to frame a call thanks to the step-by-step system that I explained you before. Now, once you've done all of that good stuff, you need to be able to pitch a proper formal project or consultancy engagement. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So before we do that, super important that you understand the huge mistake that most average workers go through when starting their freelance business is the fact that they have a lack of clear, valuable offers. But now you have your technical resistible offer, right? You may have an underdeveloped personal professional branding. You don't know really how to create proposals, and you just don't know how to have consistent client acquisition. So let's talk about how you can finally know how to properly pitch a huge software project. First, I want to just show you this video. See, that's me understanding their goals. And right after understanding their goals, we're going to go through what we call a product requirements document. Project requirements document. So this document is effectively everything that was discussed since the first touch point of the prospect or the client, and all of the goals, all of the questions, inquisitive questions that we asked, because we effectively gathered a clear understanding of the things that they need. So this is a project requirements document. So for you to better understand what a project requirements document is, I've built so many, it's crazy. But yeah, we just make a breakdown of the requirements, the expectations, the definition of done, the technical definitions, everything as it relates to the architecture, common questions, things to be worried about, milestones, expectations, definition of done, So many different product requirements document. This is the actual way to close projects. So let me bring you to the next slide super fast. I'm running out of time. Okay, so how can we ensure that you deliver things on time and the best way possible? So, the first thing that you need to consider is the fact that once you land your first client, or once you start generating communications with a prospect or a hiring manager or a founder, you need to be able to let them feel a sense of relief, a sense of like, "Ah, okay, this person already has a step by step process in place." So, we have already a whole document for you right here with everything that you need to mention in terms of communications, meaning okay, we're going to meet once a week for a weekly intention session, or a weekly progress review, or we're going to meet 15 minutes on a daily stand-up type of approach. So all of this communications, all of these agreements needs to be in place before the project starts. These are also one of the things that are going to differentiate you from an average worker to a top talent or a consultant. You already come with a framework in place. You already come with clear expectations of what you're going to do and how you're going to deliver your services. So don't even worry about it. I even have a checklist for you. So you're just going to feel like a doctor. You just like deliver whatever that you promise, and you just hit the check. All right, let's go and get paid. So we use Stripe, Pioneer, and Escrow. Pioneer is a 1% transfer, and Pioneer it's a neobank, it's online banking. You just go to pioneer.com, you click on sign in. This is full online banking. The good thing about this is the fact that first things first, these guys are 1%. These guys are 1%, and they have a physical card. They have a physical card, so you can pay things. You can pay things in your country. You don't even have to worry about that. So I clicked on get paid. I have all of these clients. I can just select the previous client. I tell the amount. Let's say it's $1,000. Quick description. Payment due by whatever date. Next. Put the any details that you care about, and just request the payment and get paid. That's it's just simple as that. I can go to my email super fast to show you, and I can just say Pioneer received the payment. Let's see, Pioneer received the payment, and we can we can see, let's see, received the payment. Pioneer's fund withdraw has been, you have received a payment. Yeah, January 20, 10,000, 10K. Cool. So that is as easy as that. So Stripe is another tool. Stripe will charge you. I don't need to show you my Stripe. Stripe will charge you a little bit of extra for the fees, but they take care of taxes because they have a whole process. So that's a really good thing. And then PayPal. PayPal is on the higher end of fees. They just released PayPal Business. People are extremely happy with it, but it is very new. My personal recommendation is just Pioneer. It's made for tech professionals. It's 1% transfer. They have their own debit card that you can use, and that is essentially the entire program. I want to take you super fast to our community for you to take a quick look. We have 250 members, and we love to work as a Navy SEAL boot camp. We have a culture here where everyone is saying on a daily basis what they're working on, if they're pitching uh, projects, if you're making progress, if they are going through challenges. We always ask you guys for feedback. People be posting questions, or they're doing proposals, or they need help with how to kill it. The magic of SEO, for example. These are inbound opportunities. We call this the shadow market, thanks to doing the entire research of knowing your industry and using the AI to supercharge your LinkedIn profile in this case. taco system to master the entire industry. The entire exercise is right here, well organized with all of the tacos. I'm just super excited to be able to show you this and present to you what I do. Thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying. Everything will be added in the description. That's it for me in this video, and I'm excited to see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.